Today we're talking about my main squeeze. I've been getting a lot of questions, people asking me about this particular rifle because I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but you see me run it a whole bunch. It's the gun I've been running since this channel started. It's evolved a lot over the past year or so. It's taken on a lot of different forms, had a lot of different things on it. So I want to talk about my main squeeze, my rifle setup, kind of the thought process behind it, and then maybe a little bit of advice for you guys. Where do we begin with this hotness? So the number one question that I get about this particular gun is what color is it? How do I get it? Where do I get it? It is TRIARC FDE. So it's not on their website, but you can put it in the comments. It's kind of a secret menu thing. When you go to build out your rifle or you want to get Cerakote done, select TRIARC in the notes or the comments, add TRIARC FDE, and they know that it's this. They will make it this colorway. They've started making it for a few other customers. So for those of you who've been interested, there you go. So how I got this rifle, how it became what it is. Back when I was working two jobs, I was working full-time one place and then I was working for TRIARC on the side. I had a project come up and I said, hey man, let me, instead of paying me, let me exchange service for goods. So, okay, yeah, that works. I do a certain amount of service, I get the goods, that works. This happened to be built out on the wall. I actually wanted a 10.5 in peanut butter, but they had this in the wall and I was like, you know what? That's different, it's unique. I don't like traditional multicam. I don't like the green in it. This, I fell in love with it right away. I was like, that's the one I want. It was built out essentially the way I wanted it with a few minor changes that I changed over time, but this was it. I knew it was it. Fun fact, I actually had a TRIARC rifle before this. I had a TSR-15 SE. So I built that one out a while back when I was working for TRIARC the first go around, and I actually ended up selling it so that I could pay for camera equipment so that I could make better content for TRIARC. And yeah, I don't regret it. It was sad because it was my first TRIARC gun, but it was worth it because it's led me here. So why 10.5? 10.5 was, has always been kind of like my favorite length. And I was like, because I knew I wanted to run it suppressed. So I was like, okay, let me get a shorter length because I know I'm going to run a can on it. I want to be able to do some CQB classes with it. It's going to be for around the house and having fun with dudes, running under night vision. So let me do that. That's what I want to do. So TSR-15s was the model I knew I wanted to go with, which is their mil-spec upper and lower. At the heart of it, again, 10.5 barrel. And this barrel is a little bit different. It's their heavy profile or machine gun profile barrel, which they do that for LE departments or government departments who need select fire guns. And this just stands up better to the heat or running full auto. Pin gas block. At the end of it, we've got a rugged muzzle device, their flash hider. If you've seen the most recent video, I did a review on the rugged Radiant. You can check that out. But yeah, so running the gun suppressed. So with that can being as long as it is, it definitely works better on the 10.5 because it's not this ridiculously long gun. Tri-lock rail, obviously. Going inside of the gun, we've got the NP3 mil-spec BCG, running a Geisley ssa-e trigger, Radian short throw 45 levers, safety levers, VZ grips, and then Radian NP3 charging handle. Ooh, got a lot of lube in there. Back of the gun, we're running Voltor A5 system, running green spring and H3 in there for when I'm running it suppressed. SBA3 brace with the split fix on there. We've got the Edgar Sherman design sling, which is my favorite sling on the market right now. There's a lot of slings coming out this year or next year. We've got Spiritus, T-Rex arms, Centrifuge, Basecamp Kilo, all coming out with new slings. So we'll see what happens in the sling market over the next year or so. As far as accessories go on the gun, what are we running? We're running the Steiner D-Ball A3. Why the D-Ball? Why not a Maul or a PEC 15 or an NGAL? And to be quite frank with you, I got it for free. So if it's free, I need it, and that's why I'm gonna run it. If somebody wants to give me a Maul or a D-Ball or a PEC, I will run it, or an NGAL. If you've got it like that, and you can give me an NGAL, I will run that any day of the week, and I will gladly thank you for that for the rest of my life. I've got the Unity taps buttons up top. I've got the Surefire Scout Mini Pro version on there, which means it's their integrated mount, which I really dig this mount. I love it. I also got the Surefire dual switch at the back, so in case the wire breaks or whatever, I can still run it. True North Concepts grip stop on the bottom. Love their stuff. Really dig this. I love that I can throw it into barricades. Love that it's metal and I don't have to worry about it breaking off. get a lot more grip off of this just to pull the gun into me. Unity fast riser with the EOTech EXPS 3-0, and then Scalarworks rear sight with the Leaf front sight attached to the D-ball. So I know some of you are going to ask, why do you have a laser and a red dot and iron sights? And the answer is the tactical games. The tactical games requires iron sights. I didn't have anywhere to run offsets, so it doesn't say that you have to be able to see your iron sights. It just says they got to be on the gun. So I have iron sights on the gun. I can't see them with the riser. Should I need to use them, it is a quick release. It's a quick release, so I'll just take the optic off, throw it in my dump pouch, and I can use my irons. So pretty straightforward. On this side, running the Frank Proctor Way of the Gun bolt catch release. Really dig that, fits my hand better. A little bit angled forward, so I don't have to reach so far back. And then, this is probably the most important part of this gun. It's these mags. It's not really the mags, but these were actually given to me from Taylor Crabtree. Taylor, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for giving me the metal mags. Do me a favor, go follow him on IG. He shoots TRIARC guns. He's in the tactical games all the time. He's a good shooter, great dude, and he also hunts down like varmints all the time. Like, that's what he does for a living, traps bobcats and mountain lions and stuff. So, yeah, go follow Taylor. I'll leave a link below, but had to give him a shout out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I missed anything. If you have questions about my setup, leave it down below. But I wanted to get into kind of the thought process behind why it's set up the way it is. This is my main squeeze. This is my main gun. This is the gun I go to 9 times out of 10 when we're out training, or if I'm in the TAC games or whatever. This is the gun that I use. So I wanted to be proficient on this gun, so it's the one that I use all the time. So if I was going to train with it for the tactical games, then I wanted to be set up that if I needed to use it for night vision, it would be that way, so that muscle memory is there, so I already know the gun, I'm familiar with it. And when we're out training with it, like, I wanted all that to be on one gun and not switching back and forth between different rifles. Not that it makes that big a difference, but for me, that's just what I wanted. So I set it up the way that it is. Yes, it is the gun I use for the TAC games, but I still got my laser on there. I still have the tap switch and the light. I have the riser on there because it's more comfortable for me, not necessarily for the night vision. Even if I didn't have a laser on there, I would still run it just because it puts me in a more upright position. And it's more comfortable for me, right? So this is the gun that I knew I was going to run a lot, so that's why it's set up the way that it is. It has all these things on there, yes, but it's because the gun I use for literally everything. So my 12.5 is very minimalistic. It serves a purpose. It is set up for that purpose. This is my go-to all-around gun. 10.5 because I don't really need to shoot past 200 yards for what I do. Not for the tactical games, not for any CQB stuff, not for any of the training we do. So there's really no need for me to have anything longer than what I do. So it works for me. Now, having said that, what I would say for you, as you're thinking about setting up your main squeeze or your rifle, as you're watching videos and reviews and all that, do you, boo-boo. Do what works for you. And I say that jokingly, but I also mean it seriously, because my setup isn't going to work for you, and somebody else's setup isn't going to work for me. I've gone through a lot of different things. I ran the riser, I didn't run the riser. I ran the riser, didn't run the riser. I've had 3 different triggers in this gun. Different charging handles, different iron sights, different lights, different grips, different foregrips, different panel setups. Sometimes there was no angled grip, and then it was just the panels on there, and it was all these different things. And I had to figure all that out for myself, what works for me. And I know there's going to be people who say, well, you shouldn't run it this way or you shouldn't run it that way. And everyone's telling you how you should set up your gun. But at the end of the day, it's your gun. So my favorite piece of advice I ever got was from Will Petty. And he said, man, the great thing about a gunfight is that it's your gunfight. At that point, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says, because you're the one that's got to figure it out. So you set up your kit to run it however you need to so that you can ultimately accomplish your goal in that situation, right? And I say gunfight not necessarily doesn't mean you have to be, killing Taliban or fighting bad guys. But if your mission set is to compete or win in the tactical games, that's you. That's your gunfight. Go win that gunfight. Whatever works best for you. If yours is just to train and become a better shooter, do what works for you. If that's it, then you don't maybe need all this stuff, right? So set up your gun the way that works for you. It's your main squeeze, not mine. And this is mine, and if you don't like it, I don't really care, because I'm the one who's got to run it, not you. So, I've rambled enough. I'm tired. We've been out on range all day. I'm going to drink some whiskey, and I'm going to go watch Django, which is a great movie, by the way. So do me a favor. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Karate chop that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Someone's here. Hey, dude. Can you take the show on the road? Because I'm trying to film something in here. Somewhere up. Nudge, can you go up front? Please? Please, go up front. Go up front. Either sit down in here or go up front. One of the two. Okay. It's a whole nother thing. We're not gonna talk about that. Moving on. Moving on. We're moving on. My baby. Oh, she's so smooth. My baby.